early November morning. I've got a stealth job to do. Got this hazard tree. It's an oak from the oak die-off. It's leaning right across the road. I just cleared out all this burning bush. From this perspective, I can see just after that mailbox. And from this side, I can see all the way up the road. So I'm clearing this out so I can have an escape route. If this barber chairs, which it might, I'm going to bore cut it so it may not, to try and prevent it. I'm heading this way or that way. I figured this way, that maple right there is going to block anything that comes flying, but I'm going to hightail it out of here. Target is right there, that stump. Cones are down just at the edge of Eric's driveway. Cones are up there. Because this tree had a good lean on it and it was standing dead, I was kind of concerned it would barber chair. I took a game of logging course a number of years ago and learned how to bore cut, but I haven't done it in a little while, didn't have the need. Typically I would do it lower at the base of the tree, but I didn't want to cut this at the base because I didn't want the top of the tree to go too far over the property across the street onto their stone wall. So I was having some trouble getting this bore set up, so then I said the heck with it. I just made my face cut a little bit deeper and decided to do a back cut on it and let it fall. It all turned out well, but I've got to practice my bore cut. I think it comes in handy, but it's not necessary for every tree in every situation. I bought this can hook at a yard sale a few years ago, and it's kind of like a timber jack. Elevates the log when you're cutting. I never really use it that much. It's very heavy. It's got a wood handle. It's strong, but that base on it is just makes it too heavy and too cumbersome. So I'm going to cut it off and just use it as a straight can hook. It's not like a log-right can hook that's light and strong and you can carry it around a lot. This is very beefy and a little cumbersome. Well, it's been a while since I've done the bore cut, which I love. I thought it was going to be important on this tree. It obviously wasn't. So a couple of takeaways. Obviously, my chain wasn't sharp enough. I used it the other day without even going through a tank of gas, but I did cut a lot of wood. But long story short, got the tree down safe and sound, taking down my cones. No one's been up the road yet. Very few people drive up and down this road. But you never know. It definitely fell to the right, which wasn't too bad. It skinned this ash, but I was really shooting for this stump, but it fell in between the two, and that's a win for me. All beautiful wood, very, very little punky wood. A lot of that bark came off, so I'm pretty excited about this. So I'm getting ready to load up these rounds. I use my pulp hooks all the time. You've seen them in a bunch of my other videos. I got a link in the description. These things are definitely worth their weight in gold. That's what I always say. I use these all the time. A couple of you guys have already bought them, and I appreciate that, using the affiliate links. But it's definitely a tool or tools. You need two of them to really make them effective. So now I got the road cleared off, which is good. I can kind of relax. It's a little crazy doing it out here when you're worried about a car coming. But it's going to be a great load of wood. Still pretty heavy. So I think it's going to be for next year. But it's going to split beautifully. And it's all good oak. Here's a little perspective. I just brought up the rounds that I cut, and that's where we were. Down there, you can't really see, but we're probably somewhere right down there on the road. And that's what I have to come up with the tractor. And now we're going to go back down, get to cutting, and do another run. Those top branches of this tree didn't have much punkiness, but this stem, it's got a decent amount of punk. Unfortunately, that's the way it goes with this oak die-off. If it sits more than a year or so, if the bark is still on it, definitely going to be punky. Still good wood underneath, just a little bit messy. So working on the stem here, it's getting a little bit tired, and of course, I wound up pinching my bar. I had another bar up at the house, but I didn't feel like taking a run up there, so I decided to just pull the power head and get that bar off the tree as safely as I can without bending it. Used a piece of wood, just banged on the bottom with my axe handle, my hatchet, and then pretty much called it a day after that. Well, that's going to be it for today. Took a little bit longer than I hoped. Had a couple of snafus, nothing crazy, nothing too out of the ordinary. Trees down, a little bit more wood to cut. One less thing that I have to worry about. I'm going to get this baby up, get it unloaded, get ready to settle in for the Friday night. Thanks for sticking with me, guys. Hit that like and subscribe button if you're liking what you see. If not, that's okay. We'll see you on the next one.